Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to talk about something that I've been meaning to get to for like the last month, basically since The Walking Dead wrapped up, and I haven't actually gotten to this yet, and I want to talk about Oceanside and what I think the fate's going to be for certain characters there, because obviously we saw at the end of episode, episode 16, that the fate of Oceanside is in a really scary place. Like, we saw Lance with his coin, and he's really obsessed with the idea of, instead of just him deciding fate or just things happening that could be, maybe very predictable, maybe relying on a method that isn't as predictable, like a coin, and just leaving someone's fate or fate in general up to something so unpredictable. I guess it's not completely unpredictable, I guess, because it's like a 50-50 sort of thing, but it's not as predictable as, I guess him going there. I don't know. He's really obsessed with the idea of this, and so it's a little interesting. And I will say for Oceanside, because this is the final season, I am a little worried for the community. And so, yeah, anyways, before going any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. But let's actually talk about this. So, Oceanside, we obviously haven't really seen them up until now. That's basically been sort of a complaint about the community. Like, where the hell is Oceanside? And like, it's not even just Oceanside. Like, it's also like Luke, right? Luke was a big part of, I guess, that new group. Like, he isn't a big character, so it's not the end of the world if we don't see him, right? I think we're just so used to seeing every single character because they've always shown off like every single character. And, I would argue they didn't even need to do that. And so now we're actually getting that. Like, do we need to see Luke? No, he probably won't serve any purpose in the story. It's just a little weird, right? It's just a little weird to finally get, something like that here in the final season. And then there's also Virgil as well. Virgil just completely went missing. Where the hell did he go? He was there in Alexandria. Like, he didn't run off or do anything, so he's still there. I think in Virgil's case, it's a little bit more weird just because it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, his reintroduction to the show was this season, basically, right? Like, he came into the show with Connie, so you would figure, well, he's going to serve a big purpose here with Connie. He also knows some very valuable information regarding Michonne, right? And Rick. And it's just kind of like they're just going to ignore it. I guess that's the way they're going to get around it. Like, I don't know. That whole thing is just really weird. The Virgil thing, out of everything, just does not make any sense. Definitely is a complaint from me. But in terms of Luke and Oceanside and stuff like that, we can't see every community all the time. And I think for this, it actually does make a lot of sense. And so we actually are going to be seeing Oceanside now. They actually are going to be re-entering the story. I don't know as to like the actual impact they're going to have, right? I think it's going to be more of like, say Oceanside is actually gone because Lance completely wipes out the community, then they'll have a big impact like that because of their demise kind of thing, right? So yeah, obviously we saw at the end there that Lance shows up, and I mean, as of now, I'll say it looks like a slaughter. I kind of feel like that's going to be the case. I don't want them really to back away from that. Like, I don't know if that's the overall plan, but it does seem like it. And then that was sort of the cliffhanger, was that, we saw all those members of Oceanside basically being put on their knees. The soldiers came in, this and that, and then Lance was like flipping his coin around. And obviously we saw in the trailer that Lance is all covered in blood and he's just like obsessed with this coin, right? So to me, it looks like it's going to be a slaughter. And I think that's where it should go. I'm going to say that. I think and I hope that that's where it does go. I hope that we do see the downfall of Oceanside, and that as a community, it completely gets wiped out and maybe some people flee, basically, right? Like, I think this is the way it should go. Lance, consumed by this idea, that a coin toss decides the fate of something really big, like someone's life or something that will affect someone's life in a big way, right? I think he should do this like heads or tails thing, and then do it for like maybe like each individual member of Oceanside to determine their fate. And I think this would automatically, by the way, make Lance like this madman, right? And I think would cement him as one of the greatest villains of the show, because people are saying that already, right? Like, there's a lot of talk about Lance being a really great villain, not one of the best of all time, but definitely up there, compared to, I guess most of the villains that we've had on the show. I will say, I really liked Alpha, but having Lance now, I'm starting to like Lance a lot more. And is Negan a better villain than Lance? It's hard to say. Like, is Negan a better character than Lance? I prefer Negan over Lance, but that's more because I like the character more. So that's what I mean. It's really hard to say. Was Negan a great villain? He was. He was definitely a really great villain. Is Lance better? again, I think before you even make that argument, I think he needs to do something. Like, he needs to do villain things, and he's sort of doing it. They're building something up. But I think, doing something really, disastrous to Oceanside could do that. And I think people would think that he was a madman. And I think if he did villain things like that, then maybe you can really make that argument that he can hang with the best of the villains or best villains of the show, right? Because I think it's possible. I think that I think there's an argument there, definitely, for sure. He is up there. It's just that he needs to cross that line now. He definitely has already. There's been a lot of things that he's done where you're kind of like, that's a little messed up, but he still has to take that extra step, I believe. And so I do think we're going to see that based off of just some of the stuff that we've already seen from that trailer and the ending here. And I also, based off of what I can't remember who said it, if it was Angela Kang or another writer, or if it was the actor who plays Luke, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting Luke. I saw it on Twitter, or I've talked about it on here before. Like, he is going to be making a return in the final 8 episodes. I don't know how much. It could just be literally 1 episode, but my prediction is that he's likely going to survive. And I think he could be the one that maybe tells Connie and the rest about what Lance has done. Because remember, I think that's going to be the overall plot or narrative, I guess, of part 3 here, right? Is that Connie and Kelly, and I guess a bunch of others, I guess Eugene, Princess, Rosita, they're all in on it too, and Ezekiel, and I guess there's Mercer and Max as well, right? There's a lot of people actually that are in on it now. Their job is going to be to take down Pamela Milton. And, there was something that Connie said in episode 16, I believe, 15 or 16, I think it was 16, where it was like, we have the coordinates to this thing or this and that, but I don't want to write a story about this. Like, we need to know a little bit more. So I think their goal is going to be to take down Pamela Milton even more, right? Like, they introduced this controversy. There's going to be rioting and protests, but it's not going to get that big up until like a couple of episodes down the road where maybe more information comes out. And I think something happening to Oceanside could be that, right? Something happening to Oceanside, or something happening with, again, why the people are going missing, what happened to Tyler Davis, is that CRM related? There's a lot of stuff there, right? So I'm really interested in all this. I do think Oceanside as a community is likely going to be pretty much wiped out, though I think they could probably rebuild, because it's just, they have communities on like near the Oceanside. So as long as you fix the Commonwealth, you can fix Oceanside. I just wonder if there's going to be any key members that will die from Oceanside. And remember, it's part 3, and I actually really want to do a death predictions video. Like, it's part 3. So there's going to be a lot of characters who normally, if this was, if we had another season after this, we would have just all assumed, well, they're safe. Like, they're all safe. But now it's not really the case. Now it's like, no, they're not safe at all. Character like Eugene, is he really safe? Like, I lean more towards safe because of his comic, story, but he could totally die. Like, he could totally be a death here in this season. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where that's all going to go. But I also do want to get into something here really quick, because I know I've seen a lot of people asking, like, when is there going to be some more Walking Dead news, this and that? Well, we're about 2 months out from ComicCon, right? I would say. So, they're about 2 weeks before ComicCon. So, like, say, early July to the first week or whatever of July, they start to release things over those, like, couple of weeks there, like, building up to I guess, ComicCon. And, I mean, it's May 13th right now. Comic-Con, I believe, is taking place the weekend of July 21st to the 24th. So if the 21st is a Thursday, I mean, I don't remember if they hold their panel on the Friday or the Saturday, but it's one of those 2 days. And so, yeah, it's either going to be like, what is that, 70 or 71 days until we watch the final season trailer. And yeah, trust me, like, these days are going to fly right by. Whenever we hit that like 50 to 70 day mark, it just seems to fly by. And it's not even going to be hard this time, because we actually have a lot of stuff to watch. Like, we have Fear the Walking Dead right now, which I know a lot of people are struggling to watch, but it does seem like after episode 13 that it's starting to get watchable now. It's actually starting to get more interesting, and Madison's returning soon. So there's a lot going forward. So I'm definitely excited for that. But yeah, Fear is going to be ending on May 29th / June 5th, around there. So we're getting really close to that. And then I imagine at that time, we're going to see a teaser or a trailer for Tales of the Walking Dead, because I'm still thinking that show is going to be airing in August. And I don't see them just waiting for the trailer to be released at Comic-Con, because it'll only be like a month away at that point, 3 weeks away. I mean, I guess they could do that if they wanted to. I don't know. I could totally see them releasing some sort of teaser for Tales of the Walking Dead, because they usually do that, right? So yeah, that's sort of my prediction for that. And then really it's just going to be like a month of like no content, not even a full month, like about a month, I'd say 3 weeks to a month of, no content. But then again, like they could release stuff, right? Like that's from my experience, it's like those periods there where you're not expecting any news at all of a sudden there's news. So yeah, but I'm really excited to actually start to talk about part 3 here and actually get into the final 8 episodes. It seems like a lot of that talk is really, I mean, we're starting it now and there's little things that come out here and there now, but really it's going to be at Comic-Con where like the hype is there and we're building to these final 8. So yeah, but anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in the next one.